If Google denies your appeal, what's next? Well, let's talk through this, because this is a situation that many advertisers are in when, let's say, their ad account or their Merchant Center account or both get suspended, and they appeal that through Google, and then Google sends back this boilerplate rejection email saying, we've denied your appeal and you're still suspended. And it's super frustrating to get one of those emails back, because Google won't tell you specifically what to fix. They just say, yeah, you're still in violation of policies. And so you can kind of be staring at the screen and saying, where do I go from here? What's next? And we get it, because we help advertisers in this situation all the time. And so I'm going to walk through some of those next steps. So first of all, a lot comes down to what you've actually already fixed and how you structured your appeal. So obviously, if you haven't actually fixed what the problem is that Google has called out, then they're not going to accept your appeal, generally speaking. And every situation is different. So we make lots of content about different types of policy suspensions. You can go watch on our channel about how to fix those, or you can reach out through StubGroup.com. We'd love to help. But the most important thing is fixing the root cause so that Google will accept your appeal. And so let's say Google rejected your appeal, you got to keep digging. You got to keep looking at your Merchant Center or your ad account or your website, your online reputation, to figure out what might be the blocker that is preventing Google from overturning your suspension. Then you also have to look at what you actually put in your appeal. So for example, a mistake we see often that advertisers make is they'll submit an appeal to Google and they just won't put much information in there. They might say something like, we think everything's fine, or tell us what went wrong, we'll fix it, and things like that. And that just doesn't get you anywhere, because this is not a conversation back and forth with Google. It's more of, it's an appeal. It's you having to say, here's all the things that we found that may have been wrong. Here's what we fixed. Here's what we'll do differently in the future. Please review this, Google, and reinstate our account. And so if you haven't structured your appeal in that way, then that could be why Google is rejecting that appeal. And again, we do a lot of work helping advertisers structure appeals in a way that maximizes the likelihood of Google accepting those appeals. And then sometimes Google is very inconsistent, and you've got to apply a lot of elbow grease, as they say, a lot of persistence in continuing to push back on Google. And just because they reject an appeal doesn't mean that they're not going to accept the next appeal. Now, there are strategies to put into play to make it more likely they accept the next appeal. They're taking a different angle in what you communicate in the appeal, or making additional changes to your website based upon, hey, maybe in our first appeal we weren't sure if these were required, but hey, the first appeal was rejected, so let's make these next and appeal again, things like that. So if you get a rejection from Google, it is not the end of the line. You can continue to appeal, you can continue to push back, but you need to be very conscious that every time you submit appeal, you really want to have done everything possible to maximize the likelihood of that appeal getting accepted. Because if Google keeps seeing appeals coming in from you and it's not getting to the root cause of the issue, then it's going to be less and less likely that you get kind of more reviews in the future, or at least manual reviews. And you're probably going to get spit back right away from the AI system saying, we rejected your appeal. So there are a lot of different directions, again, of what those next steps might look like based upon what you already have done or haven't done and how you have or haven't structured your appeal. But don't give up. And of course, if you want to hire some experts to come in and help fix things for you and take things to the next level, that's what we're here for. So reach out through StubGroup.com and we'd be happy to help.